What has still not recovered from the COVID-19 shutdown? Hours of some places were reduced and they never went back to their old hours, and a couple of restaurants closed their dining room and went to takeout only, and they've stayed that way. Indeed. The term new normal was used a lot during the pandemic, but thankfully much of that turned out to be transitory. I think this post-pandemic state of things is the real new normal. Some things are just never going back to the way they were, for good or ill. Which also entirely makes sense. A societal disruption of this magnitude will leave permanent changes. We were never gonna go back fully to 2019. I say this all the time. We have changed forever. Some of the changes were good, though. Like remote work. Teaching. The students are worse. They are 1 to 2 years behind, with both knowledge and socialization. Attention spans are shorter. Phones are a major problem. I've been teaching middle school for 27 years or so. The COVID hangover is very real, but I do notice things are getting better a little bit every year. The kids I had back in the fall of 2021 were 80% feral. It was like teaching a pack of hyenas. Every teacher I know described their 2021 class as feral. Like regardless of state or grade level. I don't know how y'all do it. I felt feral as an adult office worker when I had to go back to work. And while I've worked at places where I truly enjoyed the people I work with, that place was not one. Working fully remotely now. Stress levels are much lower. But I'm an introvert. I can see why it would be tough on introverts. Doctor appointment availability. I legit do not understand how the doctor-patient relationship is supposed to work in 2023. I feel like if something comes up, my options are A. Urgent care. B. Make an appointment for 3 months by now. By that point the issue will either have resolved itself or have gotten bad enough that I need to resort to option A. What do people really mean when they say talk to your doctor? A lot of our urgent cares stopped taking walk-ins. You had to try to call and make an appointment for the day, and they never went back to it. Every time I need to see a specialist, it takes a minimum of 6 months to be seen. I know people with universal healthcare in other countries complained about wait times, but now we wait just as long on private insurance. Price of groceries, and pretty much everything else. It just started hitting me that cost of living is only going to go up. These prices are locked in now. Even if inflation gets down to the target 2%, that means 2% higher than what they are today. Not 2% higher than a few years ago. I'm in Boston and most places charge $7 for a scoop of ice cream. $11 to $18 for a sandwich. $25 to $35 for a normal sit-down entree. It's fucking crazy, and it's never gonna get back to normal. This is the new normal. Fast food places are insane now. It's like $12 to $15 for a meal and there's barely a dollar menu anymore. It's pretty much the same as a lower-end sit-down restaurant now. McDonald's literally doesn't have a dollar menu anymore. They call it the $1, $2, $3 menu. The one by me, the cheapest item on the menu is a plain hamburger for $1.59. A small fry is fucking $1.99 LOL. The McDouble, which everyone remembers was $1 for years, is now selling for, I shit you not, $2.99. Office real estate. Most office complexes are still clamoring to fill the spaces. Lots of businesses found out they can function just fine using remote work, and after putting so much effort transitioning into a work-from-home ecosystem, they don't want to make the effort to move everything back into office. They also found out a ton of businesses are attracting a ton of employees by offering remote work options, so requiring their staff to return to the office would result in them hemorrhaging workers. All the while, these massive business parks throughout my area are shutting down right and left. My own office campus is definitely struggling. In 2019, it was impossible to find a parking spot in their 5-story structure if you arrived after 10 a.m. Today, the lot doesn't even fill up their bottom floor. Here's the thing I don't get. When our office lease was up, we tried to renegotiate the prices. The property management company refused to lower the rent. They wouldn't budge. Lease rates were stupid expensive. It made the decision to close an easy one. Now they have a skyscraper that is 2/3 empty, and their moneymakers like the restaurant and bar in the building have a fraction of the customers they once had. But they'd be damned if they were going to lower the rent. Makes no sense to me. The supply chain. There are still over a dozen items that I would regularly get at the grocery store that now is on their shelf for a couple of days, and then it sits empty for a couple of months until it restocks. And then I hope to be there when it is back. And I know it is a nationwide issue because when the store is out, it is also unavailable or tremendously expensive on Amazon from third-party sellers until it is back in stock. What sorts of items do you especially notice that proves this? Come to think of it, I have been more carefully timing my purchases of cat food and litter. And certain favorite foods of my partner. My urge to leave the house. Before COVID, I had to go to a mall or someplace each weekend. Now, I barely leave the house. I was just noticing the other day how I just don't go to actual stores anymore. Groceries and rarely for clothes because it's easier to try things on sometimes. But that's it. Anything else I order online and it shows up at my door. Got out of practice going to stores during COVID and just never went back. People's horrible driving and lack of patience. Either they're not paying attention or aggressively cutting you off. Yes. Also, people just casually run red lights where I live now. It used to be every few weeks I'd see someone do it, now it's literally a daily thing. I'm honestly surprised I haven't seen anyone get into an accident yet because these dumb motherfuckers will just casually drive through a red light 1 to 3 seconds after it's changed, and I am not exaggerating at all. Just completely selfish behavior. Kinda sucks because I used to enjoy taking a drive every once in a while. Now being on the road just irritates me because of all the idiots who seem determined to kill or hurt someone. People. I feel like everyone is still on edge and very irritable. True, everyone has a lot of anger, and they don't know how to deal with it. We need more guns in the hands of Americans. Please like and subscribe for more daily content.